Welcome to the Dan Casper Show podcast, your chance to catch the full show anytime, anywhere. If you missed it live on the radio, no worries. We've got you covered with all the sports talk, opinions, interviews, and conversations from the show. From the Packers to the Brewers to the biggest stories in sports and around Wisconsin, it's all right here. This is the Dan Casper Show podcast. Final hour on this draft day, first round of the NFL draft. Can you get ready? It's at 7 o'clock, so you still got to wait a while for the first round to get going here. We're talking like 10 hours. And they still wouldn't have a pick right now, even though the Raiders are on the clock. This is the thing that bugs me. So cool that they went from 10 minutes to 8 minutes. Mm-hmm. But for the broadcast, for the love of all that is good, when the pick is in, that graphic that comes up that says the pick is in, can we please get it announced right away instead of waiting another 10 minutes? I don't think we need to take that long. It is 2026 for a phone call. And then you type it in. And then you got to write the note card to Roger Goodell. And then Roger Goodell's got to stride out there and ask the fans to boo him louder and all that. Let's get in, get out. Hustle in, hustle out, as somebody I know you would like to say back in the day of playing ball. Hustle in, hustle out from the outfield to the infield, to the dugout. Let's do this, okay?
And like Raiders, just get your pick in right away. We all know who you're drafting. You don't have to wait all 8 minutes.
So, the Texans they signed Mario Williams the night before the draft. And technically these teams can. I think the NFL told them to say no more of that. Because they want to, the TV broadcast, they want to draw in and all this talk. I think a little conspiracy, but I think they said, You could agree to it, you could do this and all that. Because right now, especially we know the contract, like they got the stipulations and all that stuff. So there's like no really negotiation unless you're the Bengals and you got to make it harder on these rookies. I think they just told say, just let's keep that on the DL. Yeah, add a little bit more to it. But it's like we already know. But just can we please hurry up and get through? Because at least for me, for Green Bay, the picks were always towards the end. It's like I want to get to bed. I got to get up at 3. Now it's like, I could just sit back and relax because they're not trading into the first round.
Exactly.
I think I could confidently say Green Bay is not trading into the first round.
I think I'm more confident in them trading out of their second round pick than I would be in trading into the first round.
It used to be where when Green Bay would have like a 25th or later pick, we'd be up all night and be like, please don't trade out of it. Please don't trade. Like that 17 draft, not just because of the TJ Watt one, but it just annoyed the crap out of me that we waited all first round and like, nope, gone. There you go. So, thanks guys.
Yeah,
appreciate that. That was awesome. Didn't we get Deshaun Kaiser too for that pick too? So that was awesome. Oh no, that was a trade because we traded for Deshaun Kaiser. Yeah, okay, but that was the Demarius Randall for Deshaun Kaiser. Oof. All right. Continue to send us some of your favorites and gotaways, the one that got away, the pick that got away, the player that got away. I thought I had – oh, no, never mind. But I'm just – oh, I got to catch up on some of that stuff over here too. So on the Section 105 video chat. But – all right, let me ask you this, and then, Mr. Intern. The most intriguing team for tonight is who?
Ooh. I got to say the Giants.
That's kind of where I was going, yeah.
They could go wide receiver. They could go line. They could go secondary. They could trade up. So, yeah, I think it's the Giants. But also, the rumors about Jeremiah Love going there, I'm really surprised. Because, I thought they liked Scatterbo. And everything I'm reading even today is if he's there, they're going to take him. It's confusing to me.
Giants definitely, when you have 2 top 10 picks, you don't need a quarterback. They got Malik Neighbors, but there's a lot of talk they're going to get another wide receiver to pair up with him. Can you imagine, though? Let's say they get Love at 5 and a wide receiver at 10. All that pressure on the world is on Jackson Dart. Because you're going to have Malik Neighbors, a top 10 wide receiver, and 2 running backs. There's no reason for that offense not to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, you look at that, it's like, whew. I think they need some defensive help, though, to add to it a little bit.
I think they should take a wide receiver in one and then a secondary piece in the other, or an edge at 5.
They did just trade Dexter Lawrence, so maybe a little bit more defensive help. So.
They don't need an edge.
Yeah,
they don't need an edge. They have 3 guys, but
and then how much does the Harbaugh factor come into play coming over from Baltimore in that style of play? Maybe a linebacker at play. You never know.
Yeah, Sonny Styles at 5.
There's a lot of Ohio State guys. When I was doing my mock, there was a lot of Ohio State guys in that draft. Like, holy moly. You want me to go through my mock with you?
Sure.
My first round mock? Let me see if I can pull it up. It's on the pod. But I think I saved. Then you can yell at me and critique me and all that stuff. But, okay. There was no drama at the first pick. Sorry, but it was Mendoza. So don't need to, pull that. Is this okay? So I'll do the Packers one because I do a full Packers one too.
Okay.
So I got that one up. Where's my full? Oh, I should really save this stuff better in my emails. Okay, so here's my Packers one. I'll do this first, okay? My full Packer one if it wants to load. So I went no trades. Lee Hunter, defensive tackle. Malik Mohammed, corner from Texas. Jude Barry, offensive tackle from Boston College. Black, the running back from Indiana. Cyrus Allen, wide receiver from Cincinnati. And then I went another corner. I went really heavy this year on top 30 visits. Charles Demings from, I just blanked. He's a corner. He's a bigger corner. God dang it. It is Stephen F. Austin. That's what it is. Stephen F. Austin. So, and then Logan Taylor, guard from Boston College. Another guard from Boston. 2 offensive line for Boston College, but Logan Taylor literally played every spot on the line. So that fits. Packers.
Yeah.
And then tight end DJ Rogers from TCU. I did not get edge. I just feel like edge rusher is that group that everybody's talking that the Packers are going to get that they may not get. Because they drafted 2 of them last year, Baron Sorrell and Colin Oliver. And I just feel like if there's a position group that they're not going to address or they're not going to pick, I think it's that one. I think it's that group. That or...
Oh, you also didn't have him taking a QB.
I did not. Is a 7th rounder or 5th rounder or a 5th, 6th, 7th rounder going to be a better backup option at this point than Desmond Ridder? I don't think so.
I don't think so. But
because
it's
I think
kind of just what the Packers do sometimes.
It is. But I also feel like they've seen the last 2 years with a established veteran backup how important that is with Malik Willis. Now, I'm not saying Desmond Ridder is going to be the next Malik Willis, but at least he has starting experience and he has played in the NFL, and I'd rather have that instead of a 6th rounder. Yeah. That kind of comes. I mean, we went through that with the Aaron Rodgers era for the longest time. Let's just throw out a quarterback that was undrafted or, like a 7th round pick. No offense to Graham Harrell in that, but it's like, I'd rather have a little bit of that backup. So that's just me though. I want, especially in a really tough division where every win is going to matter at this point. So, all right, my first round mock, Mendoza, Bailey at 2. I think I don't do trades. It's just too hard.
Yeah.
I did 1 year. So I went with Reese at 3. I went Love at 4 to the Titans. I went with Sonny Styles with the Giants at 5. Francis Mayawaga, the offensive tackle to the Browns. Mansour Delane, the corner to LSU to Washington. Caleb Downs to the Saints. Reuben Bain Jr., the edge, to the Chiefs. I went with Jordan Tyson, the wide receiver, Arizona State, to the Giants at 10. That guy's like Tet McMillan from last year.
Yeah.
Where he's just like rising up as of late here. Kedrick Falk, edge rusher to the Dolphins. Jermon McCoy, corner to the Cowboys. This one I feel like is so popularly mocked to the Rams. Mekhi Lemon, wide receiver from USC. Spencer Fano, the offensive tackle to Baltimore. Akeem Mesidor edge to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And then Carnell Tate, wide receiver to the Jets at 16. Monroe Freeling, offensive tackle to the Lions. This is like a popular 18th one. Sign him in the safety from Oregon to the Vikings. Sadiq, the tight end to the Panthers for Bryce Young. I went edge Zion Young, Missouri to the Cowboys. Ione, the Penn State offensive guard to the Steelers. Caden Proctor to the Chargers. They got tackles, but they might slide one of those guys interior.
Yeah.
Caleb Lumu to the Eagles from Utah. Omar Cooper Jr., wide receiver to the Browns. Caden McDonald, defensive tackle to the Bears. TJ Parker, edge to the Buffalo Bills. Jimmy Leonard gets his edge rushers like he had in Denver. KC Concepcion, I like saying that last. KC Concepcion, Texas A&M wide receiver to the 49ers. Chase, this one was hard for me because I've seen people say defensive tackle for the Texans, but then they like completely overhauled their offensive line, like 1 year deal. So I went with a guard, Chase Basantis from Texas A&M. Avion Terrell, corner. Kansas City's got to get a corner for.
Yeah.
They trade everybody. Denzel Boston, same like Miami's got to get a wide receiver since they got rid of everybody. CJ Allen, the linebacker to the Patriots, and then Cassius Howell, the edge to Seattle. So,
yeah.
But there will be trades.
Yeah.
There will be. I'm more confident now that there's going to be more trades than I was 2 weeks ago. I feel like there's going to be more now, especially with teams with multiple picks that can move around and afford to move around. So I'm getting more excited talking about it, though. I really am. All right, let's take a quick break. Plenty more to get to, though. We got another Brewers game coming up in just a few hours as well. Tariq Skubal's on the mound. Then the Brewers get to face Paul Skeens tomorrow. How often has that happened where a team has gone up against the Cy Young Award winners in back-to-back games? We'll tell you coming up after this quick break. First pitch for today's Brewers game coming at 12:10 here. Coverage will begin 35 minutes prior. You can check it out on the radio dials, 105.1 FM and 790 AM as the Brewers will throw out Brandon Sproat. On the other side, it's Tariq Skubal. And then tomorrow, Paul Skeens scheduled to go up against the Brewers. This is just the second time. The Brewers will be the second team to face the reigning Cy Young Award winners in both leagues in consecutive games. The first, it actually happened just last year. It was the Red Sox when they went up against Skubal, and then Chris Sale with the Atlanta Braves. So, no doubt a huge, very difficult test for the Brewers in these next two games. So, obviously they have a little bit more experience going up against Paul Skeens because within the division and such, but Pat Murphy and his approach, one game at a time. All right, let's get today, worry about tomorrow when we get to tomorrow. So, but we also got the Stanley Cup playoffs going on. That's why our intern here is exhausted this morning trying to watch his Wild in double overtime against the Stars. They ended up falling to the Stars last night, so Dallas now holds a 2-1 lead in the series. With the first couple games in already of these Stanley Cup playoffs, anything standing out to you? Anything, are you nervous about the Wild able to move on, or how nervous are you being in a 2-1 hole right now?
It's getting there. We took game one, so that was fun. But, last night was an important game, especially because he had the lead in the third period. But they're just going to have to be smarter. 6 of the 9 goals this series for the Stars have been on power plays. And one of the Wild players came out and said, we're better 5-on-5, but we're not playing enough 5-on-5. So they got to be much more mature in the way they handle things. They've got to be more disciplined. They've got to stay out of the box. And I still think they win in 7. I picked them to win in 7 at the start. I still think they win in 7. But you got to get Saturday's game and make it a best of 3. But, my nervous level has grown for sure. Yeah. So, a lot of these games have been pretty, it's kind of typical Stanley Cup games for a few of these games, right? It's been fun.
Very, very close games and such. And no big surprise, I feel more entertaining than a lot of these NBA playoff games at this point. So, but a lot of the other teams too, or I should say a lot of the other teams, but a couple of the other teams just kind of going about their way, right? Colorado leading 2-0, they're a favorite to go. Who do you have for your favorites to go to the Stanley Cup?
Avalanche.
Avalanche?
Yeah.
How about
Avalanche Hurricanes?
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was Hurricanes.
Okay. Avalanche winning it, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Yeah. I had Avalanche, and I think I had Edmonton. I was trying to be different.
There you go.
Trying to be a little bit, but NBA playoffs, they're also going on and such. I do worry about the Spurs now with my Spurs pick, how long Victor's going to be out concussion protocol. I think they could still win the first round and get through it, but nonetheless, still a little bit worried with that. But I'll be honest, I'm not following the NBA playoffs too much. I'm going to be real. I'm not going to blow smoke up anybody's. You know what? Bucks aren't in it. It's a long first round of games for the NBA. I wish they would make them shorter, go back to 5.
Yes.
I think we've talked about that before. Go back to 5 for that thing, but I don't know. Once we get to maybe the conference finals, I might get into it a little bit more. Western Conference Finals, Eastern Conference Finals.
I'm kind of paying attention, not really watching anything, but, just some of the conversations. Like, one of the best series is Minnesota-Denver. And then another is the Lakers-Rockets, but the Lakers-Rockets to me is like...
And Lakers are up to a 2-0 lead already.
Well, and it's like, everyone's like, if LeBron wins this, he's the greatest of all time. I'm like, no, it's one series against the Rockets, who are overrated. No.
Rockets aren't playing as good as they thought, or everybody thought they were this year. They were better last year than they are this year, and they added KD. And
Luke Kennard has been the best player on the Lakers anyways, so... Yeah.
No. Yeah, you're right, though. I think the Minnesota-Denver one has been the best series because not just from a play standpoint, there is a little bit of a rivalry. I think we can say that, right? I mean, if we got any T-Wolves fans listening, and there's a lot of connections between the Nuggets and the Timberwolves, whether it's been front office personnel or trades and such. So there is that rivalry element to it that adds to this. So that to me has been the most entertaining one. I don't know what Anthony Edwards Joker trying to take the ball from him when it's kind of a dead ball sort of thing. So, hey, if I'm all about rivalries. If that could continue to develop into one, I'm okay with it. I like rivalries in sports. It adds a little bit more to it. So
also this year in the playoffs, it's just weird to have like the Raptors and the Hawks. And the
this is going to my youth, man.
Yeah,
this is But
it's like for me, like. They're not great teams.
Trailblazers last time, I mean, they were Dame and Terry Stotts.
Same time.
Yep, back in the day. But, Raptors in it. Well, I mean, they won the finals right before the Bucks, but that was kind of a flash in the pan because they got Kawhi right before. So, but Hawks, the good old Mookie Blaylock, Steve Smith days, Dikembe before he went to the 76ers. Now we're talking. But, because what's the next award they're announcing for the NBA?
Oh, it's a good question. Maybe most improved?
Because they did, obviously, Wembanyama for defensive player. Do they have any? Oh, SGA was named the clutch player of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Clutch player. That's an interesting.
Sixth man of the year.
Sixth man of the year is, that was yesterday.
Oh, that should have been yesterday. Oh, yeah, Keldon Johnson from the Spurs won Sixth Man of the Year.
That's Yep, I did see that.
Sportsmanship's tonight. Most improves tomorrow.
And then they wait for MVP, Rookie of the Year, Coach of the Year until May.
Yep. That makes no sense.
They're trying to be the NFL and, spreading this out as much as possible, apparently.
Doesn't the NBA or NFL do it in one night, though?
They do.
Yeah.
They do. But I'm saying, NFL is trying to be relevant every single year or every month, but that's... Why? Why do a little bit? And then, okay, whatever. But I just want to get to when they announce the lottery picks. I want to see where the Bucks are at.
Yes.
Let's
get to the ping pong balls.
Yes, let's get to that, and then we can go from there, and maybe figure out who the coach is going to be too for the Bucks. That would be. Okay. Let me throw this out there really quick because I know people don't really want to talk about the hoops, but. Taylor Jenkins seems to be the favorite, but now Billy Donovan's available. Steve Kerr might be available. Would you take any of those two over Taylor Jenkins?
I don't think so. Not at this point.
I think Steve Kerr might be done.
I think if he leaves the Warriors, he needs to be done.
He's 60 years old. I don't know.
I also don't think he'll ever take on a rebuild.
That's the thing. That would be a hire that if the Bucks really wanted Steve Kerr could be the guy that say only if Giannis is there.
Yeah, Giannis.
That would be the only thing. But hey, maybe he goes back to the Bulls. They got. I think he's probably going to be done for a while, but
he'll probably go get a media job.
That's where he started off.
Yeah,
he when I was younger, that's what he was doing. He was on TV and such. So, all right, let's take a quick break. We'll get back to some more draft talk as day one is here. Got a little while yet until the first pick comes across the board and such, but we'll get back to some more draft talk coming up after these few words. I don't know why it popped up on my social media or my Twitter page, but I must be friends with some Boston Red Sox fans, and let's just say they're not happy with Caleb Durbin right now. So I think he's still only hitting 147, 11 hits. Hey, at least of those 11 hits, 7 of them are RBIs.
Hey.
Yeah.
Most of them were against the Brewers, I think.
That's actually true. Yeah, Detroit a couple days ago, he had a couple of hits, but oof. I don't want to rag on the kid right there like that. It's just, depending on how this season finishes up for him, Brewers might have been right after 1 year, saying did what Caleb Durbin did last year, did he kind of hit the ceiling? Like that was the best that they thought they were going to see from him. I don't know, but you look at a couple of these trades now, and I think it was Surveyor that mentioned it. You look at Devin Williams, he's not performing well. Is it market size? Is it market size with these players that, holy crap, it's New York or it's Boston? It's completely different than what Milwaukee was. But Caleb Durbin, I know, was a prospect with the Yankees and such too. So, but you look at those moves right now, and man, Arnold might have gotten them right. I don't even know what Isaac Collins is doing right now with the Royals. He is 183. He's got a home run, but he's hitting 180. He's got 11 hits, 4 RBIs. So, I mean, look at that one, too. What's Nick Mears was a part of that trade. Nick Mears so far is 1-1 with a 3.12 ERA. That was not a lot of games. He's pitched in 9 games, a little over 8 innings. So, early returns at least showcase the Brewers might have gotten a lot of those trades right. So, heck, I mean, Hamilton's hitting better than Caleb Durbin right now.
Yeah, I think at this point we just got to trust them. Every year they do something, and it's crazy to me that we traded them, but I mean, we're getting about the same production with Rengifo.
Yeah.
But we're getting Hamilton's bunting. He's doing his job. We're playing good defense. And so pitchers, I understand why they struggle and they go away from the Brewers, because I think we've got the best pitching staff as coaches in the MLB. What they're able to do with pitchers is incredible. But I don't understand why our hitters struggle. That doesn't make sense to me. I think Devin Williams was just broken by that home run. That
Mets one against Pete Alonso in the playoffs. That's what I kind of wonder too. That would break a lot of people,
especially as a closer. I mean, that's your job with a lead.
Yeah, and 2 outs, right? I mean, wasn't it 2 outs?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he had 2 outs.
Yeah.
So.
But hey, a lot of baseball left. They could turn it around.
Mm-hmm.
They could turn it around, but early returns really look like it's the Brewers have that one. So, okay. Brewers draft wise, we've got the draft starting at 7:00 tonight. Get ready for a lot of smoke screens today, rumors today. It's been full of that all week long, right? I agree with you. I think the Giants, to me, are the team or one of the top teams to watch in this one. I would say, though, I might put your Chiefs in there, though, too. Because where they select in this first round, they got an early one in the top 10 and then a back end one. Do they package that to move up? Do they stand pat to try to get two, players in the first round that they would have that fifth-year option with? So I'd throw your Chiefs into there. Because I think they could go offensive line. They could go defense. They always seem to be looking for a wide receiver if they want to go that route.
He's got to be. Never mind. They need several positions. I think most importantly, defensive back. But the talk for them was a lot of people think they're trying to trade up to get Arvell Reese, to get Sonny Styles, one of those guys. So they're a team to watch. I also think the Cardinals, just because of the Ty Simpson thing, is interesting. Do they draft him late in the first round? Because I believe they have 2 first-round picks too, right? No, they don't. They'd have to trade him. But
let me say this. I think if they trade out of the third spot where they accumulate more picks, then I do think they move up to get Ty Simpson at the back end of the first or early part of the second. If they stand pat at 3, I don't think they do.
I mean, just take the Chiefs, for instance. Let's say they get 9 and 27 from or 29 from the Chiefs. Maybe they just take them at 29.
Yep.
So
I could see that. Yeah. Because then they're probably going to get even like a mid pick and that sort of package. So I'll re-say it. If the Cardinals stay at 3, I don't think Simpson's a first rounder. If the Cardinals move back and accumulate more, where they can maybe move up to 32 or like what you said to 29, then yes, I could see it happening. It's not going to be top 15, top 20 or anything like that. But then I could see it possibly happen. Maybe it's a little kind of like the Jackson Dart thing from last year. Because there were some questions whether Jackson Dart would be kind of a first. Then he ended up being a first. My phone is going off. So, but that maybe Ty Simpson's kind of similar to that.
I do, in my opinion, I did see Jackson Dart though as a better prospect than Simpson. Jackson Dart was able to show the consistency over several years. I mean, he's a good pocket passer. He has the mobility. I just don't see Simpson as that. 1 year at Alabama, he's struggled down the stretch. He's a good quarterback, but he's not a first-round quarterback in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. It gets to the desperation stuff, right? Yeah. Gets to that. So, but all right, should be. I'm getting more and more excited. Definitely. And honestly, I'm kind of curious what the NFC North does too. That's the other thing. So, like, what as a if you are a Packers fan, what are you going to be watching for tonight? Like, what will you be? I'm curious about the NFC North. Do the Lions go with that offensive line that I think a lot of people feel like? Do the Vikings go with the safety? Do they go defensive help? Bears. Do they go defensive line? Do they add to that? I'm curious what the NFC North is going to do.
Yeah, I would even look at this just as a whole. Like if the Seahawks trade back, Super Bowl winning team, the Giants could go from worst to first in their division. Where do they go? And I mean, even the Eagles, we traded them Wicks. But if the rumor is true and they're trading A.J. Brown, good luck with Wicks as your second.
Well, and to me, though, it would make sense where the narrative is that they're not going to trade him until like June 1st for that 2027 draft.
Yeah.
That to me, I mean, and I don't know if there's anything, what if they still announce it today, but it's for a 2027 pick or maybe a late round for this year and then a 2027. I don't know. But I do wonder if there is a player going to be traded. I don't think that's so hard to forecast.
Yeah. It's interesting to me that, I think it was reported that they have a deal in place for after June 1st. You can announce them now and then just process it after June 1st. Mm-hmm. So that interests me. I don't know if you could, since it's processed, I don't think they could have a draft pick in this draft. They couldn't actually, since it's not processed. But I'm surprised they haven't announced it if that is true.
Mm-hmm. Never mind. I was going to make a joke, but I won't. About a reporter and that too. So, we'll leave it at that one. But, don't need to. Honestly, too, I'll say this. I wouldn't be surprised if Dolphins move out of that 30th pick. They got a lot of holes and they're completely rebuilding. What if somebody wanted to come up at 30 to draft a Ty Simpson? And they have an early round second pick.
The only thing, I think they draft a receiver there.
Mm-hmm.
And
unless receivers get pushed.
That's true. This is a weird year for receivers for me because it is so deep, but at the same time,
there's not like a Malik Neighbors or
Carnell Tate is good, but I don't think he's going to be great.
Mm-hmm.
And yet we have such a deep receiver class. So that's interesting.
So the question is there like a legit one? Like there's no Jamar Chase. There's no, I'll say it again, like a Malik Neighbors type. And maybe a guy could develop into that. I don't think anybody thought that about Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Or Justin Jefferson.
Right. Obviously, Justin Jefferson was not a top 10 pick. So, and it's not to say that those guys can't develop into something like that. But
yeah, I don't think there's a clear number one receiver. But I could see 6 receivers going in the first round.
I want to throw this. I don't think this is going to happen. The timing of it is just weird. Yesterday, the Cowboys, Stephen Jones, saying they are not going to sign George Pickens to a deal and that their expectation is he's going to play under a tag. Now, maybe that's a negotiating thing, but they already got a lot of money invested in CeeDee Lamb, right? You can never predict what the Cowboys are going to do anymore in terms of, but what if a team called and said they'd offer a high pick for George Pickens?
I don't think they trade him. I think they like George Pickens. He's a kind of Cowboys-ish player.
But does George Pickens want to play on that franchise? Is there going to be a holdout now?
That's a good
It's just
question.
weird timing to publicly say that, too. Now, maybe it's a negotiation tactic.
Yeah.
It very well could be. But what if, there is a team that's willing to throw a second-round pick, a high second-round pick, to where the Cowboys would have 3 picks in the top 35.
What if the Dolphins offered their 30th?
Or something like that.
Yeah.
Heck, even the Chiefs.
He'd be a Chiefs-ish receiver, that's for sure.
Right? So, I don't know. I thought that was kind of weird timing. But it is the Cowboys, so who the heck knows? Can't really read anything into it, probably. But all right, we'll take our final break, and we'll do some picks as we wrap up this Thursday program. We'll be right back in just a couple minutes. Wrapping it up this morning with some picks. So let's go. Let's start off with some NBA games. We do have a couple of them tonight. The Knickerbockers taking on the Atlanta Hawks. Series is tied at 1 apiece.
Knicks.
I'll go Knicks, too. Let's go Cleveland, Toronto. Cleveland leads at 2-0.
Cleveland.
I'm going to go Toronto. Denver at Minnesota, tied up at 1 apiece.
Give me Minnesota.
I'll go with the Timberwolves, too. So let's do some Stanley Cup playoffs. We've got Buffalo at Boston. That series is tied at 1 apiece.
That's a good series. Give me the Bruins.
I'm going to go Boston, too. Let's go Carolina at Ottawa. Carolina leading 2-0.
Hurricanes.
Carolina. Colorado and the Kings.
Avalanche.
Yeah, I'm going to go Colorado, too. So let's do some baseball picks here. Atlanta versus Washington.
Atlanta.
Philadelphia at Chicago White Sox. Or what? Cubs.
I want to pick the Phillies.
Please, Phillies. For crying out loud.
Just
win.
one. Sure, we'll go Phillies. They'll get one.
Come on. You have to. I tried the reverse jinx yesterday, and it still didn't work. So, Padres, Rockies.
Padres.
White Sox, Diamondbacks.
Diamondbacks.
Dodgers, Giants.
Dodgers.
Yankees, Red Sox.
I think the Red Sox are going.
I'm going to go. Yeah, I'll go Red Sox. Let's go Twins and the Mets. Hey, the losing streak's over with. Congratulations, Mets.
And it starts tonight, Twins.
Yep, Twins again because Joe Ryan's on the mound too. So, Pittsburgh, Texas.
Rangers.
We're going to go Rangers. And then Brewers, Tigers.
I mean, I have to pick the Brewers, right? Brewers. I'll go Brewers.
I'm going to pick the Tigers. I hope I'm wrong. So, how many trays over under, let's say 2.5?
Over.
I'm going to go over 2. Who is the first wide receiver taken in this draft?
I think it'll be interesting what the Giants do because I don't think Carnell Tate is what the Giants want. I think they want Tyson. So if they choose to draft a receiver at 5, I think it's Tyson. But if they don't draft a receiver at 5, I think Carnell Tate goes to the Browns at 6.
All right. I am going to go, I think it is Jordan Tyson as the first receiver. Yeah, that guy's just been kind of skyrocketing up the draft here too. So will there be a active player trade, like somebody who's already in the NFL tonight?
Well, I was going to say no, but I was listening to Vikings radio yesterday, and they mentioned Grenard still has to get traded. Well,
why?
Because Wisconsin radio was on commercial. So
you poor guy. No, just kidding.
So I'll say yeah. Say one player gets traded.
I'm going to say no. I'm going to go with the odds and say no. That one, it's hard to predict, but I'll say no. So any other draft? Any other draft trying to predictions can we have tonight here?
Chances of Raiders trading out of the first pick.
Negative 50. Although it is a Raider, so I'll put it at 1%, just in case. So, does Jeremiah Love go top 5?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so too. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do the Cardinals make a trade at number 3?
Yeah, I'm gonna say yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna say yes too. It just
feels like they're destined to move.
Yeah. I kind of like your Chiefs thought a little bit on that.
Yeah, move up, package 9 and 29 and get to 3.
Yeah, something's going to happen, I think. And it's not going to be for Love though either because the Chiefs got Kenneth Walker now. So
I think I've said this before. I think if I'm the Commanders at 7, I do whatever I can to get to 3 and draft Love because that is the only position they really need this year. He would make that offense so good, and they'd be right back in the Super Bowl mix.
So Love can be the Travis Hunter from last year almost. Where that team trades up to get him. But
I think so.
Should be fun. I'm excited. Just because, yes, I wish Green Bay maybe had a first pick, but it's okay because it's Micah Parsons, so I'm not hurt too bad. But it's going to be kind of a nice, relaxing draft, I think. And I just want chaos. I want chaos all across the board. The one thing I don't want to get to the pick with the Eagles and be like, how the heck did they get that guy again? I feel like the last few years, there's always been, how did this guy fall to the Eagles?
Yes, the stud linebacker from the Alabama Tide or Georgia. And
Georgia defender or Cooper DeJean goes to him in the second round, and it's like, how, why did they end up with this guy? I don't want to be saying that tomorrow or even tonight where it's like, son of a gun, they got that guy. How did that happen? That I don't want. So, Ravens were kind of like that too, but none of those really panned out a whole lot, I feel like. But I'm waiting for who's that defensive back that the Ravens are going to get. I feel like they always get like a defensive back. And who's the team that's going to maybe make the biggest surprise pick where all the insiders and analysts are like, whoa, didn't expect him to go that high?
It's probably obvious the Cowboys, I feel like.
At 12?
Yeah.
I could see that.
The Cowboys or Jets feel like they just struggled to pick.
I could see the Cowboys being that at 12 or the Jets at 16.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. That's a safe bet for sure. But there's going to be one.
Yeah.
There's going to be one surprise where it was a little bit higher. It might be even just like an offensive lineman that's all the insiders and analysts thought would be available later in a team just likes him. So, but no, it should be fun. You got to get your rest though before, since you tried staying up late and watching some hockey. So you have to get ready for tonight. We'll see what the big news is later on today too. There is going to be a story. I don't think it'll be to the Aaron Rodgers level of the accumulation of facts from Adam Schefter from that few years ago, but
maybe we get an Aaron Rodgers decision.
I still say if he wants to be, he should go out on that stage in Pittsburgh. with a piece of paper that just says one more year, or a little Jordan-esque and say, I'm back. So probably not to the same level as Michael Jordan coming back, but still.
If he were to do that, I would hope the Steelers pick a quarterback.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Just send Aaron out to make the pick, and then he doesn't know who it is until he opens it up and it's a quarterback.
Yeah. Ty Simpson at 21.
Yep, that'd be awesome. All right, that's going to do it for us. Enjoy the draft tonight. We'll be back at it tomorrow morning to chat about it and preview some potential options for Green Bay's first pick of the draft at 52 overall if they stay at number 52. And hopefully we're talking about a series win for the Brewers as we get set for a series against the Pittsburgh Pirates. So fingers crossed on that. Have a good rest of your day. Same place, same time.